Welcome to 3 Shots In. I am your host, Mark, and it's great to see everybody back here again. We are, of course, at the end of round 2 of the Ontario 40K League, and we have Mike Harrison at the lead. He's been both wins, awesome games. Of course, he's playing the big boogeyman, the Tau, who we're all fighting against right now. In number 2 slot, we've got our very own Terry with his Grey Knights, who's really been showing some good games. He's been teaching his opponents some lessons, so good on you, Terry, and keep up the good fight. You're in second place. We have Eric, who's off in third, again, another Tau player. Our very own Glenn, who is playing his sisters, is now holding the 4th spot after a big win against the Crushers today. We have Adam Hauser, who's on the 5th spot, also with Tau. And finally, there's me. I'm down to the 6th place after a good win today against the Sisters of Battle. So, 3 in the top 5, though, are Tau. And that's going to be a really tough fight, because I'm expecting Terry, Glenn, and I are probably all going to have to face against Tau. And these, of course, are the big ones, all the big guns. My Crusher list will face some troubled times if I choose to run that. Terry also has his big guys who tend to go down to some heavy shooting. And Glenn, maybe he might have to modify his list a little bit, but he's got a good MSU and is probably the most experienced player of us all, and probably have the best chance off against the Tau. In any case, it'll be a great experience because I have yet to play against the new Tau. Again, same with Terry and Glenn. So this will be an opportunity for us to learn about it. And even if, we get our asses kicked, we'll be having a good game from it and learning about it too. Of course, I do have a few surprises because I am expecting to go against Tau, and hopefully I'll be able to configure my army a little bit to suit against the heavy shooting power that is the Tau army. So I had a great game today against Austin Thorne. Now, it was a close game. He had his Sisters of Battle, but I did get a nice 79-66 win. I made a few early game mistakes that did cost me some points. I was still fairly confident that I was going to win the game, but I made a few game mistakes, particularly with the Hive Guard. And I'll call them out here. They're the 2 big ones, and I just have to be mindful of this. I had my Swarm Leader, my big Warlord who gets all the re-rolls to hits against with the Hive Guard. He was too far away from them. And it wasn't until really the second turn that I was able to get those Hive Guard really churning out the shots, which did a tremendous amount of damage against Austin, actually denying him, I think, about 12 points because it knocked him off his secondaries. Also, that first turn, as I was really learning about what the Sisters can do, I had to work a little bit on some of the target priority. First round cost me a little bit because I didn't hit the things I really should be hitting, but I corrected that on the next few rounds. Ultimately, that did cost me some points, and although I did come out on top, and I'm actually in a good spot where I like to be in the 6th place, overall, some things to learn. And that really brings to the next item that this is probably, next league round I'm still going to be playing with the old decks because it officially hasn't come out, but these are probably some of the last times I'm going to be fielding the old 8th edition codex with the Crusher list or without, because I'm really hoping that the new codex will finally come out. I'm hoping to have some good news on the Sunday that in the following week we'll find out about the pre-release that we'll be able to buy, which means I'll be having to learn an entire new army for the ScotchHammer. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be test running some of the leaked rules that I've been able to come across, and that'll be a really interesting experience, particularly because that'll be one of the only times I have to actually test out what I think I'm going to be bringing to ScotchHammer. And on that note, just to give a preview of some of the things, we are going to take a moment to watch glue dry. And that's all that is really, because, watching glue dry is kind of dull, but hopefully you noticed what the glue was drying on. And I'm looking forward to fielding that unit very, very soon, probably tomorrow, and get a feel for what that bad boy does. Anyways, this is, of course, Mark from 3 Shots In. Thanks for signing in, and looking forward to finding out what's going on with round 3 and also what's coming up in the upcoming ScotchHammer team tournament that ScotchHammer is attending. Until then, this is Mark. Cheers.